Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in to CANSIPS Sunday. So we're going to have a look at whether the next 6 months with the Canadian model. This is going to take us from July next month. Can you believe this? Through to December, the final month of 2016, with this update. Absolutely astonishing to think that we're going to be talking about the final month of 2016. But remember, we're going 6 months ahead. And we're doing it just for fun, really. Of course, the first month or two, there is some scientific merit about what we're doing, because it's only a month or two away, and presumably, if it's a decent long-range model, it probably has a bit of a signal for next month, and maybe the month afterwards. But as we get sort of 3, 4, 5, 6 months away, so September, October, November, December, obviously, we are in the realm of this being just for fun, and just a snapshot, really, of what model is showing this morning when I'm doing the update. But obviously, when you get sort of 3, 4, 5, 6 months away, that's very much subject to change. So I'll show you the charts in a second. I think they're going to be very interesting for the next 6 months. But before I get on with that, just to say about the ads, there's links to articles on all the pages. Have a browse through widgets and click through the links if there's any articles that you're interested in. Thanks very much for doing that. There's also video ads to those pages. They unload content when you're watching them close back up again, and it does help to pay for our website. The website we're using for this CANSIPS Sunday update is the website tropicaltidbits.com, and you'll find the link to Tropical Tidbits on the links page. It's a fantastic website, wonderful website, and you can see all of these charts for yourself via Gazworthy's links page. Just click through the link, go to tropicaltidbits.com and see the CANSIPS model for yourself. And thanks so much to the folks at Tropical Tidbits for allowing us to use their website and allowing us to use their information. So with that said, I think I better get on with the update. We're going to start off with the mean sea level pressure anomalies, and then we'll have a look at the corresponding temperature and precipitation anomalies. At the end, we'll see what model is showing in terms of the Equator-Pacific, ENSO, El Nino, La Nina, all of that kind of thing. So let's start off with the sea level pressure anomalies for July. First of all, this is the mean sea level pressure anomaly for July 2016, next month. It's only 1 month away, so presumably this has a little bit more merit compared to the charts that we're going to look at in a moment, but go further out. So we're seeing blue colours here to the north and west of the UK, with a bit of a ridge down to southwest through the Azores. It looks like the jet streams coming through the country a bit like that. So this looks quite a changeable month, actually, in July. The most unsettled weather, of course, will be in the north and west, close to that area of low pressure. But, yeah, I think bring jet stream through, particularly to the north and west of the country, so you'd expect quite an Atlantic-driven month, and it could be fairly unsettled as well. Let's move through to August. This is how August is looking. This is a little bit better. The blue colours, they are deep, but they're pushed to the north around Greenland and Iceland. Looks like the Azores high is strengthening and extending up into the country, with the jet stream rising to the north as well. I think that could be quite a nice month if it came off like that. Now, many of the long-range models and long-range forecasts have been around for this summer indicate a deteriorating pattern through the summer, with August perhaps the coolest and most unsettled month of the three. But no, this actually suggests that August could be, just could be, the best month, I think, of the summer, with that ridge building up from the Azores quite strongly, looking pretty decent there into August. September looks like this. It's all a bit of a mess, really, for September. I think we've definitely got the Azores high out to the west of us, but it looks like it's pulled out to the west. Got low pressure around Greenland and Iceland, and we might be bringing the jet stream on a bit of a southerly track there, actually. There could be some sort of ridge up here. It's very weak signal, but there might be some sort of a ridge up there, which sends the jet stream a bit to the south. It's quite a complicated one for September. It's 3 months away anyway, so it's not worth worrying about. But I think maybe a little bit more changeable in September. October is looking like this. A very strong ridge is building through the central part of the Atlantic in October. Displace north. We've got low pressure to the north of the country. The jet stream might be doing something a bit like that again. It's quite a complicated one for October. I think that could be a fairly coolish month. Probably not all that wet because the main areas of low pressure are being kept up to the north up there. But it's just the position, really, of this area of red to the west of us, which will probably send the jet stream on a bit of a northwest-southeast trajectory, a bit like that, which could bring more changeable conditions into the northwest in particular, and probably not all that warm either. Getting through to November, and it looks like November builds the ridge in towards the UK. This is 5 months away, so it really is just for fun. But we're building the ridge in there. Low pressure, again, looks like it's up to the north and west. But jet stream's probably doing something like that. But remember, under a ridge, and over here, there's a big trough developing within the flow through Scandinavia and Russia. So a very early start to the winter in the northeast of Europe and into western Russia. For us, we're under this ridge, which technically is probably fairly mild, but of course if the ridge is centered over us then we're going to get cold, frosty, foggy conditions. But what I would take from this is that the signal for the autumn months, particularly October and November, probably really quite dry, so a fairly dry autumn being signalled with this month's update of CANSIPS model. And then finally, should we go through December and see what that is showing? Well, this is it. This is the chart for 6 months away, December 2016. And that ridge, it's still there in the Atlantic, but it's pushing up towards Greenland. It's going towards the south of Greenland. And the trough is centred over the UK. And I'll change the colour, generally to the east, over here across Scandinavia. So what this would do, it would send the jet stream and the flow rather like that. So it does indicate that there's a trough within the 500 millibar flow over and to the east of the UK, with this ridge in the Atlantic going up towards Green. You know, I think that's quite a coldish looking month. We would probably be opening the door to northwesterly influences, possibly even northerly influences there as we go through into December. It's a very, very long way off. It's 6 months away, so of course, don't get excited about this, it's just for fun, but that's what it's showing. I think it could be technically quite a coldish month there in December. I could go on and show you January and February. I know a lot of you would love it if I did, but I'm going to draw the line here at December. So let's have a look at the temperature anomalies that go with those charts next. So we're going to come back to July, which, remember, it's only 1 month away, so presumably it is a little bit more reliable than the more extended range. And July is showing very close to average temperatures, really. Most of Europe are getting quite a mildish, quite a warmish sort of month, with temperature anomalies coming out above average. But for us, perched on the far northwest of Europe, as we so often see, particularly in summer, we come out close to average because we're close to that cool ocean. So not particularly exciting temperatures in July. August does go a bit warmer than average. I thought August looked quite pleasant with that ridge building from the Azores, and the model is showing a warmer than average month again. Now it's not a classic hot August. It's not a heat wave month. For that, we'd be seeing red colours there going into that part of the temperature scale. We're not going up to that level, but it's a pleasant enough month being signalled by CANSIPS this month for August. September, it's a very, very complicated signal for September, but the temperature anomalies are going close to average. So a bit of a cooling trend takes place there from August to September. October also comes out close to average with the temperatures. Then the ridge is to the west of us and probably sends the jet stream on a northwest-southeast trajectory. So actually that could be a little bit cooler, I think, than that is suggesting. November also comes out close to average, so very average with the temperatures as we get through into the autumn months. No sign of anything desperately warm, but also no sign of anything really cold either. And then we go through into December, and this is how things are looking for December. Again, it's very much average, really. There's no sign of anything cold there. No sign of anything hot or warm either, or very mild, I suppose, would be more appropriate for December. Remember, what's happening there is that the ridge is up here, and the trough of low pressure is over here, and again over here, which I would have thought would send things like that with the flow and possibly give us quite a coldish month. But it does actually show cold and average temperature anomalies at this stage. It's 6 months away, so it'll be a weak signal anyway. But anyway, that's what it shows for December. Actually, I'm giving you a quick sneak peek of January there, very accidentally, so I'll just talk about it. And it shows average temperatures again in January. I wouldn't normally do that, but very accidentally, I went to the 7th month. Notice very mild and warm month up there across Scandinavia. Not quite sure what's going on there. I normally won't go beyond 6 months away. I did that accidentally. I won't be doing it again. But that was just a sneak peek of what the temperature normally was for January. Right, let's have a look at precipitation. And again, we're going to start off with July. So we're looking at quite a wet month for July, particularly in the north and west of the country. The green colours there indicating above average precipitation anomalies. So as I thought, it's a changeable month being signalled here for July. Not that great. The temperatures aren't too bad, but certainly the rainfall does look a bit worrying, especially for the north and west of the country. August, now this looks better. It goes a bit drier than average in August, way for far north of Scotland. So I think, certainly out of July and August, August is clearly the better of the two. The ridge is down here, building in, sending the jet stream north, and that's why we get a slightly drier and warmer than average month of it in August. September looks quite strange. It's drier than average in the north across Scotland and to the northwest of the country, and then the rest of the UK is generally close to average. So I think, reading between the lines, it's a very hard signal to decipher, but I think it's probably some sort of ridge here, and then maybe the jet stream, and there's obviously a ridge here, and then there may be the jet stream coming through a bit like that in September. So what appears not too bad could actually, well, not too bad a month, could actually be quite a cool, unsettled month, particularly for England and Wales, less so for Scotland. But it is a very complicated pattern it's trying to set up there in September. October looking like this. Remember, we're going a long way out now, so October has drier than average conditions in the central Atlantic, wetter than average to the northwest of Scotland. Jet stream's almost certainly going a bit like that, so fairly cool and changeable to the north, but not desperately wet month. September, I should say November looks drier than average in those yellow colours. Remember, in November the ridge is building into the UK, so a drier than average month comes off in November, and then December, as far as we're going, despite that little mistake that I made a few minutes ago, December looks significantly above average with the precipitation. Notice this yellow in the Atlantic and going up towards Greenland. That is a ridge. The trough is in here. And between the two, of course, you will presumably be opening the door to a northerly flow with the ridge again there, the trough there, and that pulls winds down from the north. So I think December, if it came off like this is predicted to, will probably be quite a cold and wintry month. However, it's 6 months away, and it is just for fun. Finally, let's just have a look and see what the model wants to do in terms of the ENSO region. So this is the sea surface temperature anomaly from the CANSIPS model for July. Notice this blue area just here. It's expanding, landing. It's been a very clear signal, consistent signal from CANSIPS for several months now to develop this landing It's a moderate event, but it has in place already by July. So it implies from where we are now, a big drop in temperature is going to take place. Actually, I can show you the chart for June. That's it. That's how it's looking for June there, with a bit of the La Nina signal. But look how it deepens that signal in July. So it is seeing quite a rapid transition there from Nino to Nina, from a warm event to a cold event in the Equatorial Pacific Ocean, down to moderate El Nino levels on the temperature colour scale. Beyond that, it keeps La Nina going. So this is August, this is September, this is October. By then, we've got a clear signal across all ENSO regions for a moderate La Nina event to be taking place. Looks like it's going for it to be rather central and western based just through here, and then a bit weaker just here. So it's a bit warmer there and colder in this part and this part. I'm not sure whether that means anything or not. I'll have to do some research on central and western based La Ninas as opposed to eastern based La Ninas. The El Nino idea is that when it's central and western based with El Nino, it can increase the chance of colder winter conditions. It's called a Madoka or Madaikai El Nino. I'm not sure whether the same effect holds true for La Nina, but it is showing that the La Nina, the cold event, is likely to become, over time, as getting towards the autumn, more sort of central and western based. And then we go through into November, on into December, with clearly a mature and fairly strong, well, moderate, really, La Nina taking place in central western part of the Equatorial Pacific. It's a good deal weaker over towards the eastern part of the Equatorial Pacific. And if I run on beyond that very quickly, the La Nina continues into the winter and then on into the spring as well, albeit as a weakening influence, as you would expect. I've only done that because, of course, when you're in a mature La Nina at the end of the year, it can only continue into the start of the following year, and then it'll weaken into the spring, and you've got to wait beyond the spring then to see where you go next. Will you go to El Nino again? Will you go back to neutral? We have another La Nina, that kind of thing. So that's how Molly's seeing things in terms of ENSO. It definitely wants to have this moderate La Nina event in place by the autumn and make it into more a central western based La Nina as opposed to it being eastern based over towards Peru. And what the impacts of that will be, I have no idea. I suspect it could be something that we will look at in the winter updates, which will begin, I guess, in September. Coming back to the actual weather, so July looks quite a changeable, cool, mixed sort of month. August looks a lot better, so the idea that we've had with some of the forecasts that we're going to get a deterioration late summer, CANSIPS says no, it actually wants August to be the best month of the summer. Beyond that, the autumn looks quite dry, I would have thought, and no real temperature signal. Doesn't look particularly warm autumn, doesn't look particularly cold autumn either. Beyond that, we get to December. It's not worth worrying about, but it does show something a bit cold. In terms of the setup, anyway, the pressure pattern looks a little bit colder for the end of the year. Right, that's it for CANSIPS Sunday. I hope you found it interesting and enjoyable. It's all just for fun, I have to say that again. It's not to be relied upon, but I hope you found it interesting and informative. Next month's update of CANSIPS Sunday will, or it might be CANSIPS Saturday next month. I'll explain a little bit more about that later in June. But in any case, the next CANSIPS update is going to take us into the first month of 2017. Can you believe that is possible? Right, that's all for now. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thanks for tuning in on this Sunday morning, and that's all for now. Thanks for watching.